I was born in England, the United States, when I was 7 years old. My parents are immigrants of Italy and moved to England. My mom did first, then my dad followed. And then after they had my sister and me, they decided to come to America. I have an aunt who lives here, as well as a few uncles, and so she sponsored our family. Landed in Kenosha, and so from second grade on, I was educated in the schools of Kenosha. Coming from an immigrant family, being first generation college students, there was a little bit of a cultural lag where they didn't really understand. They understood the need for higher education. They just didn't know that there were so many choices. So we would come to Petrifying Springs Park, County Park, and we'd see the campus. And so even in third grade, we actually had a field trip to the biological sciences department.
Oh, nice.
And I can still remember the presentation by a professor explaining the dangers of smoking and showing us a smoke-filled lung versus a healthy lung. And that really impressed upon me. But we were able to tour the whole campus. So I was connected, I'd say, to UW Parkside from an early age on. So I started here in the fall of 1986.
Okay.
And I was here for 9 semesters. And so I completed and earned my degree in the fall of 1990.
Okay.
So it really was 4 full years, but because the way the semesters are, I was here an extra semester.
When you came to Parkside, were you involved in any clubs or activities while you were?
When I first came to Parkside, I was not.
Okay.
It was enough just to kind of get acclimated to college life.
Right.
But pretty soon I realized, and I was working off campus, I was working at Tenuta's.
Nice.
Pretty soon I realized, maybe I should get a job on campus to get to know more people.
Yeah.
Or get to know the university better. So I actually worked for the Center for Survey and Marketing Research. It was a place that was part of the business department, and we literally surveyed for different companies. We were hired to survey for them. For instance, the library system in Wausau, Wisconsin hired us to survey the residents of Wausau to see if they needed another library.
Oh.
Or, yeah. It
That's
was
pretty cool.
It was very interesting, and I met some new friends.
Nice.
So, but I was not involved in any clubs, not right away.
Okay. So while you were at Parkside, what was one of your favorite classes?
Well, I knew I wanted to be a communication major pretty early on. So once I was getting through my breadth of knowledge classes or my gen eds, I started taking the communication classes, and one of my favorite classes was with Dr. Thayer. And I don't recall the name of the class per se, but it was communication theory.
Okay.
The way people interact, socialization. And it had a lot of interesting theories that included a lot of psychology. So pretty early on, I also decided then to major in psychology. So I am a double major,
Wow.
and hence having to stay an extra semester.
Right.
But it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
That's
Dr.
very
Thayer, really interesting person. It felt general because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
Right.
So I knew that I could pick a major that gave me a sampling of maybe a lot of different things. Public relations was really at the core of that too.
Okay.
I really enjoy helping people. So if I'm not going to go down the track of becoming a full psychologist per se, then I wanted to do something and major in something that gave me kind of that overall way to reach people. My absolute favorite professors was also my advisor for the program, and that was Wendy Leeds-Witt. And she was phenomenal. She was just so engaging in the classroom. She understood and got to know each of us individually, which is another benefit of coming to a university with a smaller student body. So she was great. If we had any questions, she would stop to explain it and answer it fully. She wanted to make sure that we weren't just there to learn the concept per se, but she wanted to apply them to your own experience. Because that's how then you're interested and you learn more. So interestingly enough, when I was a upperclassman, probably a senior, there were a few internships that I was able to participate in. One was to run an event with the Kenosha County Park System at Pets called Picnic in the Park. And that was very cool. It basically entailed me organizing it and implementing it and contacting all of the food vendors, all of the entertainment, all of the advertising, all of the logistics with busing for this county-wide event. That was very cool. Another internship that I was able to participate in was through the City of Kenosha Mayor's office.
Oh, wow.
So I have come full circle working back there in the exact same spot that I was when I was a senior here in college. UW Parkside professors, they are invested in your future. And the way they invest in your future is making sure you're in the moment now, learning about the community, learning about yourself and how we respond to each other and what the needs are for you to succeed, and preparing you in a way that provides you with the tools to succeed, like internships,
Right.
like the one-on-one office hours, like the group projects where you have to work together
Yeah.
and measure the success, the outcomes of those projects to learn why maybe you didn't get the grade you expected or the grade you were trying to achieve, or maybe surpassing expectation.
Right.
They really do a good job about that. They don't leave anyone behind. So
Yeah.
it did set the tone for my future. Also in touch with several of my classmates that graduated with me in the communication program. In fact, on Friday night when we were here to celebrate 50 years of UW Parkside, there were some people in attendance and people volunteering, people who still work here, who were classmates of mine.
You had mentioned that you met your husband here,
I
correct?
did, yes.
So when did you meet him?
So I met him in the fall of 1988 when I was a junior and he was an incoming freshman.
Okay.
And by then, circling back to your question about becoming involved, by then I was involved in the Parkside Activities Board and I was the live entertainment chair. So I was recruiting new members, the new incoming freshman class, and one of the young students who had signed up said, I have a good friend who might be interested. Can I introduce you to him? His name's Tim Carl. So when I think about it, it was right over here actually.
Really?
Yes, right through that
awesome.
stairwell. So I come down the stairs and then Chuck, who was the young man I had already recruited, was standing there with Tim and our eyes locked. I still think about that and I laugh. And yeah, the rest is history. And we just had such great memories here.
That's
And
awesome.
our daughter now is a UW Parkside student. We have a son who's a senior at Horlick High School.
Okay.
And we just have such great memories of being here together and supporting each other through our future careers. He's an art major, but he ended up getting the same certification in graphic design, which again, as I indicated, is now a major here.
Yeah.
But he is a senior graphic designer for Design Partners in Racine.
Wow.
And we make our home here in Mount Pleasant, near here in Mount Pleasant. So
That's very cool.
Yes, it's been 30 years of awesomeness.
Right?
Yeah. So when we were involved with Parkside Activities Board, our thing back then was to host dances almost every Friday night, if not every other Friday night for sure. And we would host them right here in the Union. At the time, it was called the Union, yes. And so we would go to great lengths to have these themes associated with the band that was coming in. And there was a time that we said to the powers that be, at the time it was Steve McLaughlin, Dean of Students.
Yeah.
So we would go up to Steve and we'd say, Dr. McLaughlin, we are having a 60s band. So we have an idea. And he would say, okay, let me think about this. What is your idea? We want to have truckloads of sand brought into the Union. He said, you what? Yeah, we want to have a beach party in the Union. No, you're not having a beach. Come on, Dr. McLaughlin, please. Okay, if you guys promise that you clean it up after the dance and you leave it spotless, cleaner than it was before. Sure enough, we had truckloads of sand brought in and we had a beach party in the Union.
That's awesome.
It really was. And that was just one of many, like I said, the themes that we would come up with. We would spend hours down in the den downstairs and we would do the posters because we did it all by hand and we hung them up and Yeah, we would have so
That's
much
very
fun planning and executing the funnest events, and it would be packed. I would become involved sooner. When we were communication majors with that core group that I mentioned before, we decided, well, why? Because you only need 2 people to start a club here. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
When we were students here, we decided to start something, and it's still in existence, and that is the Parkside Association of Communicators.
That's awesome.
That was our class that started
so
that.
Cool.
Yes.
That's very cool to see it still going.
Yes. It's very exciting to me,
Right.
and we did have a great core group of members, and it was going strong, and I'm happy to see it still is. Say, make sure that when the professors are teaching the class, come to class prepared, obviously, but try to add to the lecture. Try to bring up questions. Try to ask as much as you can. Tap into their breadth of knowledge. Tap into their resources that they have that are available to you. And definitely get involved.
Okay.
Definitely think about that you want to leave this place better than you found it. So if you're seeing a lack of something that might be needed here, if you're seeing students that might need tutoring, offer your services, offer your advice. Go into the classrooms at other schools and in high school, because I think those are the students we have to reach so that they know what opportunities there are that await them here in college. A lot of students, if they have the opportunity to attend college, they don't know what to expect.
Right.
They're freaking out. So even the first day of school, be there to offer, anything, a helping hand, where to go, that kind of thing. Maybe
Right.
be part of the orientation process. So that's what I would say.